I and my Father are one. Same thing. Each and every one of us can say that if we will reawaken, reestablish, renew, resurrect the sleeping presence of God within us. Ramakrishna, manifested the aspect of Divine Mother's love. It's all in the omniscience of God, so much so that when you mentioned her name, he went into ecstasy. St. Ignatius manifested what? The will of the infinite. Each saint manifests different aspects of the one Christ consciousness which Jesus gave so fully. Then we have the Master. The Master manifests love, as you know, sacrifice, and also he manifested a special dispensation from the omniscience of God, that all who will can, irrespective of race, color, or creed, resurrect this Christ consciousness within. He made it easy by giving us the proper methods to once more regain our oneness with Christ consciousness. The Master also manifested the aspect of love, for it is he who said, "When people hate me, I still give them love. I keep on giving them love and wait for them to change." Isn't that wonderful? Why should we not go on loving them? If they are at fault, they will change. Why should we lose our peace and calmness of God within us? We should not. And so that was another of the Master's manifestations of an aspect of the presence of God within him. Another was of sacrifice. Thousands and thousands throughout America. He took their troubles. He took their karma. And in India, sacrificed himself. And that's why he often said, "My life is a ransom for many." In other words, he sacrificed that aspect of Christ consciousness. He sacrificed himself that aspect of Christ consciousness of love and devotion and security in God. He had a wonderful sense of security. You felt the presence of God when you went in his presence. Why? Because he manifested that great security of God's omniscience. But he sacrificed in doing it. And so you can see, I could pass down through others. St. Francis, as I have said, his life ran parallel to Jesus' life of love and compassion. And in spite of a frail body, in spite that near the end he was practically blind, he went on manifesting the Christ consciousness within. He was able to show that great bond of joy which he felt leveled off all the paradoxes of life and smoothed out all the discrepancies of a weak body and such things. That's the power of God. And so Jesus, this is his day. You all know Jesus manifested, as we affirm together in the whisper, a great love and compassion for his brothers. When he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They know not, O Father, that it is you who are manifesting through my voice and my hands and my feet and my heart. It is the Christ consciousness that they are sinning against, not my little body." That's why he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." They were sinning directly against the presence of God which Jesus manifested. That shows what? The highest love and compassion. And by that he sacrificed his body, but he gained complete freedom of the presence of God, the omniscience of God, oneness with his Father eternally. And each and every one of us can do likewise without doubt. I'll pass on quickly. The question is how to awaken the vastness of our underlying divinity. That's the point. Now this is important because our own desire and our will is not enough. You cannot do it by that. You have to have help. We must have help. And the key to the help which we must have, you will find in 3 John, the 14th and 15th verses, with these words: as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. In other words, we have to lift our consciousness from the littleness of ego to the vastness of the divinity within us. How? By resurrecting, renewing the sleeping presence of God within us at the base of the spine. If we arouse that, which we can do by simply following the techniques which the Master has given us, as karmic conditions are bettered, and as the old habits fall off, and the latent impulses are stilled, the presence of God will be aroused, and it will surge up through the spine, up through the spinal centers, reawakening them into the thousand-rayed lotus. That extra power of the aroused presence of God is necessary for us to once more resurrect the vastness of our divinity within. As that extra power surges up, it opens all the petals of the spinal centers. Some are closed when we're born. It opens them up. And by that, we can perceive the omniscience of God within. When those petals are open, then the light of Christ consciousness flows through us. Then we can give to others. Not only will we save our own soul, be saved from delusion, but we can give that love which we feel of the infinite Father, the light which we perceive, we can give to others because